Hello. So, since we have a book meta, so like a lot of guys playing one map size larger and fast speed, I thought I would show you guys how to shake it up, how to do a rush. In this case, as Space Marines. So, standard 1 versus 1 settings, fast speed, let's go. So, basically, this is a very low science build, so you want to settle on rack. This looks like the perfect spot with double rack. And you also want to tower up a rack at the beginning. If you find a rack, you can take like a shard for 10% and some energy. And if you don't have that, it's okay to also tower up science. So let's see. This is a fermentation pool, so this is not exactly great to take with the tower. Science here. And there's a Grox here, so that's what we're taking. And for this one, I mean, production is nice, but we want the 40% and this is the only tile that has it, so we're gonna skip the shard and just go here. Or maybe, yeah, go here. So, I'm gonna show you guys how to do an armory rush with one apothecary for tacticals. It's when doing rush, it's very important to stick to 2 tacs per tier, no matter what, because your science is very low and you need to be very purposeful with the tech you get, so you need to have it planned out. Also, it's very important to clear towards the middle as much as you can, because then you can scout around the middle and determine where your opponents are. I'm gonna shoot to get rid of the overwatch, don't want to trigger anything right now. Turn off overwatch on the tower, take an up, get rid of overwatch, take another up, and this way next turn my tacticals will be together again, which is very important for efficient clearing. Scout with this one, maybe overwatch, just in case, if I can trigger the Vespids. Gonna set up overwatch. I could be greedy and try to take this, but this one is guaranteed to have another pack guarding it, so nice and easy does it when it comes to wildlife. So yeah, we're gonna do an Apothecarion, then we're gonna do some Armories, and when we need to, we're gonna build a rack. That's basically it. It's very nice to get an energy up or two or some shards, because having to build that energy early is really bad for Space Marines due to having only one city. Okay, this one was taken by the dogs. I'm tempted to go check the corner, because obviously I can't rush turn 20, so, and I'm already pretty close to mid, so I'm gonna take the time in this case and go check out the corner. This is Grok, so this is a good next tower. Razorback for your second tech. Later on, if you have like a lot of tacticals, if you didn't lose any, you can maybe backtrack to get like frags or tactical doctrine if you have a lot of influence, but like only later, because with every build and especially with rush, you need to know what your timings are, and with this build, when you get predators and produce a couple you become able to siege cities. And when you get Dreadnoughts, this is basically your peak, because after that you're not getting anything new for like a long, long time. And this is mainly an armory build. The tacticals are there just to support, provide some overwatch, give you some flexibility. And also you need to research armory before you make it, so you have to make a building first. You can also start with a rack, but you do end up with a ton of rack bank in the mid game, so it's not the most efficient build. It's more of a dreadnought build if you go rack first, as in rack first, a ton of armories, and then once you get dreadnoughts, you just spam them and spend all your bank. So that's a good one as well, but maybe less suited to 1 versus 1. I like this one with 1 Apothecarion. Okay, we won the science, plus 2 science, and this amount of science total is quite a lot. So I'm just gonna range to it, turn on Overwatch here. So we can definitely afford to make an armory before we have to make a rack. You can calculate approximately your economy pretty easily, so you check like how much you're getting, you account for the upkeep that you're gonna have to pay, and then you just do like a simple calculation. Do I need to make a rack now? Will I run out? Will I have troubles if I don't make it? Then make another racks, and with experience you become able to judge this decision pretty well. Okay, not what I want. That's fine. So not gonna be able to finish those fast pits. That's fine for now. I can maybe go after them. We'll see what happens. We're gonna drop a tower next turn, so we're just gonna do this. Not gonna shoot, gonna just leave it on Overwatch. Have to set up a rally. Actually, I'm gonna go grab this outpost with the first marine. And then on tier 2 you get Hammer of Red to boost the bikes, because you're gonna get some bikes. And then you usually get dormitories. If you have really good energy, you get land speeders, although in vanilla I think land speeders cost energy upkeep. No, they don't. So yeah, if you have energy you can get land speeders, but I don't have it, so I'm gonna go for hammer and dormitories. If the game drags and you think you still have a chance, you can later backtack to dormitories if you really need it, but rush builds aren't aiming to go beyond turn 50 or so. Normally there are situations where you do a lot of damage and stay in the game that way. Let's do it like this. And let's go find the Vespits. I'm gonna heal this one and actually just turn off Overwatch on this one, because this guy's gonna de-aggro pretty soon. So the Vespits got away. It's gonna be too much of a hassle to try to chase them, so I guess I'll go for the corner now, and the Vespits will be back and I can kill them then. So we're gonna get like a couple of razors and a couple of bikes while we wait for predators. I can probably make one more armory before I go for wreck, but it does look like I will need some energy or I will get into trouble. This is not a completely free op, but that's fine for now. Lots of influence in the back, so I might want to consider backtracking for doctrine later, we'll see. By the way, mines are also an option, especially against factions like Tyrannids, but in most matchups they're not very good, even if you have a ton of bikes. But against like melee factions, melee builds, mines are pretty good. We're just gonna do this. The wildlife will probably forget that I was here and walk into my overwatch. Set up another one here. And then a scout here, still in range to take this next turn if I want to. I don't have a good next tower for now. There's like some fermentation is not good. I think this is probably an ore or a grox, probably an ore, but I'm not gonna be able to grab it. Although I could send this new tactical there to get vision, which is what I'm gonna do. The overwatch worked, kind of. Scorpions in the back, that's not great. I'm not sure I want to spend the time clearing them. Yeah, gonna have to make a rack after this armory, so take the 40%. The Vespids are back, which sucks. Hoped I would have a little bit more time. So on tier 3 you could get Devastators, but I'm not a fan of making them from one barrack, and you have Predators later for that role, so I usually get Fortress expansion, and then sometimes you get Whirlwind, but Whirlwind is not really a rush unit, it's more of a attrition denial unit, so not a fan for rush, but you could consider it instead of loyalty, because you're not really gonna want to get loyalty anytime soon, and when you want to get loyalty you want to be winning already, so but yeah, take care of this guy. I can take the op later, no problem. Didn't think this went through that much, but I guess going here is fine for vision. Razor will go into the back, so he picks up some of these guys. Okay, can I get vision from here? It's elevation 4, so I probably can, yes. So I'm gonna get two razors, maybe 3, and then make some bikes, because bikes are pretty good when you want to rush, because they do a lot of damage, and then you overtake with other units to try to protect them in combat, and they also scout and are fast, which is useful for multiple reasons. So yeah, like right now if I look at my rack situation, I gotta spend like every 5 turns I gotta give 30 for the Tacs, and then every roughly 2 turns I have to give 30 for a razor. So with this income and the upkeep that I'm about to start paying, it's a good time to make a rack, because if I make a barrack I will get in trouble, but the energy situation really sucks. I'm gonna have to stop and make an energy as well. It's just something that can't be helped sometimes. I wanted. Now I could send this guy to help clear with this guy, but instead I'm gonna wait for these two units and then start clearing this way. I want the relic, and then I'm gonna go for mid and try to find my opponent. This guy's gonna heal, this guy's gonna take the op, and scout. But looks like this op is safe from scorpions, and I'm not particularly fond of influence. I have enough for my needs, so I'm gonna go the other way, I think. So this guy is gonna ferry these two guys. Gonna go here next turn, and then like to the middle. This guy can just... Actually, yeah, this guy can just go here. Maybe he can catch the cultists with the overwatch, but basically just waiting for these two units. So make a wreck, and then we're gonna have to do an energy, unfortunately. What can you do? Most of the time there's an energy op, or at least enough shards so we can delay it, but not always the case. These two guys can heal before going inside, and this guy will have to slug it on foot. I can take the op now. I think I'll do one more razor, then a couple of bikes, then predators. Or actually, let's do one bike, then probably another razor at some point for preds. Because for this amount of tax, 3 transits are good. So just wait with this guy for now. Should have maybe put my razor here, so this new guy can go inside, but you know, not playing super duper focused right now. So I guess these guys will retake the signs. Maybe push through here and see if I can find anything here. So energy after this. I mean, I have so many 20% tiles, I guess just take this. Like I said, loyalty. Don't really want whirlwinds right now. I'm gonna wait for the dogs to retake this and kill them when it's a little bit easier. So this. Take a little bit of damage clearing this, but that's fine. Because Razorbacks are basically mobile healers. Units heal while inside, slowly, but still. Another scorpion here, so I'm guessing my enemy's probably not here. So I'm gonna go check this side. Obviously on a larger map you're gonna have to do more clearing, but the principle is the same. Just go for the middle, then scout around, then see where the enemy is and go for that. If there's robots and umbras here, you go around, or if that is impossible you wait for predators and then clear them with predators. Sometimes you can do it before if it's umbras, but for robots you kinda need them predators. So I think one razor after this, one bike, and then another bike. It's gonna be fine. That sucks. Grasp it in the ruins. I can't really kill this West, but I wanted to come out of the ruins, so I'm not gonna engage it right now. Also, if you use your overwatch, they seem to be more likely to come into you, so that's what I'm gonna do. Also, basically the units inside the rays are count as standing still, so like if I stood still with this unit for a turn, it would heal. It's the same with the units inside, which means if you put them on ops, they heal more. But they won't heal this turn because they just moved inside, so no point in doing that just now. Neutrals have a side range of 3, so right now it doesn't see the Razor, it sees the tactical marines with the spent action, no overwatch, so they're very likely to come after me. Looking for my next tower. This is an ore, I think, so maybe that. Maybe I find something here, and also here is a grok, so that's good. Checking if all my overwatch is on. Looks like it is. So, unfortunately, although I could make one more armory, actually this was a mistake, because I'm explaining and not as focused on the game as I should be. But I could have just, instead of taking this tile with the intention to build energy, I could just make another armory, because 4 turns at -3, I'm gonna be at 27, then -5. I'm not gonna go into negative before I can make an energy, so I'm gonna go for maximum units since I'm doing rush, and this is what you want to do energy wise with most factions, with most builds. Anyway, you don't want to make it until it's absolutely necessary, unless you actually need to spend energy to make units or whatever, in which case it's a little bit different. I think I'm gonna be able to make 3 bikes before I have predators. So basically, when you start getting predators, you want to know where the enemy is, you want to have the path to him, and you want to start fighting. Turning off Overwatch so I don't trigger the Umbras, and pinging so I don't forget that I turned it off. These guys can Overwatch for the eventual enslaver. Again, I should have moved this guy one tile less so he could tax these guys, but I'm not focused enough because I'm thinking, what else should I tell you? What else should I say? It is what it is. Normally you would play more focused and you would do stuff. Predators in 5 turns, meaning 2 more bikes, maybe 3. Gonna use the bike to take this up. In case you didn't know, flying wildlife cannot retake ops, so you just ignore them, take the ops, fuck off, and you get easy op that way. This guy is gonna stay 1 turn, or actually there's no need, because the marines are healthy enough already, so let's just maybe move up. That's not perfect, but it's not a big deal either. So looks like I'm gonna have to go through these scorpions, which is fine. some healing, so in he goes. We made the armory. No, wait, what am I talking about? We need to queue up attack. So yeah, after that, energy. So this guy takes... Oh, okay, never mind. Meant to say this guy takes this and then goes inside here, but since there's a motherfucker here, I guess we do this. Okay, this guy... Here, Overwatch is still off. I know there's scorpions here, so this guy just goes in here. Next turn, Overwatch off. Oh, I have a tower, I almost forgot. So... What did I plan to take? So again, oh right, I have a Grox here, so take the Grox. Easy. In you go, in you go. Away you go. Overwatch off. Looks like no enemy in this corner, so I'm not sure I'll stick around. I think I'll go here instead. What do you want to shoot? No, Overwatch, off for you. Bad tower. Okay, looks good. One more bike. Could do another Razor, but I think 3 are enough for my needs. And then just Predator spam, mostly. After this, we make a pop. Alright, yes. This Armory is kind of annoying. Maybe I'm just gonna kill it. I have to kill these dogs, or they'll retake the science. I want science, science is nice. So this guy is gonna heal double, because the Razor that's carrying it is on the outpost, so that's great. Let's use this guy. Okay, so it's ambles. Not a fan of clearing ambles back here, so probably not gonna do that. The Umbra has 16 HP, so I'm not really ready for it yet, but I could try to Overwatch it. So let's do this, and then this, and then it's probably gonna move away because of all the Overwatch, but not necessarily. There is a lot of wreck here for my next towers, but I think I can get my next tower probably elsewhere as well. spikes are good for scouting stuff like that, for example for taking towers. Anyways, okay, annoying. So after Predators you can get Melta for your Tacs or Kraken bolts. I like Kraken bolts because it helps bikes, it helps Tacs, it helps razors, boosts their DPS, while Melta is situational and you're only producing Tacs from one barracks, so it depends. If I'm playing against a vehicle build, if I know that I could get Melta, but for city sieging purposes I'm more than happy with Predators for that role. So I'm not gonna take this, I'm just gonna use the bike to scout it for a tower if I need to. And I'm also not gonna bother with these guys because it's time to find the enemy. It's turn 28. I need to start working on the enemy. Gates gives experience, that's why I do it. Levels on units are not game breaking, but they're useful. So if you have nothing else to do, definitely kill 10 gates. Okay, time to kill the scorpions. Okay, so okay, time to spam Predators, 1 per 2 turns, which is great, sometimes even more with production overflow. So once I have 2 or 3, I can basically start sieging from range 3 against most factions pretty safely. And even against factions with city range 3, it's okay to trade some damage usually. So I can hear sounds here, so the enemy is here. If that wasn't obvious yet, I'm gonna kill the scorpions. I have a bit more time before I get the predators I need, so I'm gonna clear a little bit more. Okay, let's take care of these scorpions. I can probably take this guy. I think this op is guarded by this box. I'm gonna try to get it anyway. Okay. Get rid of the overwatch, I don't want to trigger this turn. Checking if all my overwatch is on. Deleting nicknames because I don't want to get attached to units because they die all the time, and also don't want to give the enemy the satisfaction of killing a named unit. I'm just petty like that. So if I didn't have energy issues, I would actually get one more armory, so I'd be at 4. But 3 armories is solid as well for this stage. Overwatch. Okay, need to start working on these boxes. They are very annoying, but what can you do? Anyway guys, I'm gonna have to go. This video has become a little bit longer than I intended, but you know how it goes. I'm pretty close to finding the enemy. I find him. I have a 31 upkeep army, so I can probably take the fight. Outside, in front of the cities, I wait for my predators. I start blasting the city from range 3. I take good trades, and yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the Discord, write to me, or like write in the PvP channel and tag me. I'm happy to answer questions, and yeah, see you next time.